Grand evening, everyone. This is NR Silvertree here. Welcome to Silvertree Rune Readings. This is the eve of the new moon in Aquarius, and the portal has opened. I believe it was on Monday, so our new moon is tomorrow. The portal will be open for the next 3 days after that, and will close on the third day after the new moon. Thus having set a new energy for the new moon cycle. Okay, so we could jump right into this. I meditated for about a half hour, and and it varies every day, but I always make sure that I clear my energies before doing any kind of readings, energy readings, unless it's spontaneous and impromptu and I'm, guided to just jump into a reading, I will do so. But for the human collective or for any future rune readings that you will have with me, for those of you who are interested in working with me, I will probably set or give you a timetable so that I can emotionally, psychically, physically, mentally, and spiritually prepare for the reading. It's very, very important for me that you understand that. So, as you can see, we're going to get right into this. So, during my meditation, I was instructed after, it's always towards the end where I'll finally pull a rune, and I am usually told or guided to pull two, and one on the right will be clarification for the rune on the left, which is the rune for the official reading. And this is what came up. So this is the sigil and symbol for my deer medicine, okay? And the deer, to me, in my own and soul interpretation of the deer medicine, is it's symbolic for the water element, okay? The water element meaning intuition, meaning fluidity, meaning constant movement, purification, reflection, looking into the mirror of yourself, of the self. And it's one of my most favorite energies to work with, the deer energy. It is also very close to my heart, to the heart center. So it represents emotions, and also it represents the throne of the heart, okay, the temple of the heart. I had a 2-year-old that I work with call his heart his temple. Yeah, that was pretty deep. And it didn't come from me. It came from source or through someone. It's just very beautiful. At 2 years old, he said his heart is his temple. So the heart, the seat of the soul, okay? And to me, what I'm getting here to me, this symbol represents crown, okay? When you shift the energies this way, it represents the crown. Now, for the male deer, they have their antlers, okay? And the antlers represent, to me, they represent that royalty, the royalty of our being, okay, that resides within the heart that we must connect with. But the energy came out in this form, in this way. I'll interpret it in several different ways, however it flows through me. So this, if you can imagine a deer medicine, okay, and think of a deer. Now, where I come from originally, I come from the land of the deer, okay? I come from a place in the Midwest where there's deer everywhere. Hunting is a really big thing. It was never a big thing in my family, hunting, maybe once upon a time, eons back, but it's a huge part of the Midwestern culture for deer hunting. Sadly, it makes my heart hurt because, they've gotten rid of the wolf, right? The wolf medicine and the wolf spirit, the wolf energy is incredibly important. So wiping out, the predators creates an imbalance, okay? But to get back into this reading here, so when I'm feeling with the deer medicine is quick, fast, right? They have to be very quick. It is a means of survival for them. They must make very precise, very calculated, intuitive movements. Okay? Because every moment or every movement they make could be their last. And so that everything is they're highly sensitive beings. You know, they can sense humans, you know, miles away. They can sense when the hunters are hunting. They know. They're very much aware. But it's a very quick energy, the deer. But what I find very interesting in pulling the energy of this rune is that we're in new moon energy, which is a little, to me, new moon in general is it's a lot slower, okay? It's very subtle. It's very, to me, it's very mystical, very quiet, very reserved type of energy. And as well, we're in Mercury retrograde, okay? Like almost smack in the middle of it. And so we have these energies here. And then we're also in the space of Aquarius, right? I believe Mercury retrograde is in Aquarius and new moon is also in Aquarius. So we have a lot of wind energy right now. And what really comes up for me with my, because I am very connected with animal medicine and working with animal magic. So to me, it really, the other rune that I pulled in the right hand just was a confirmation that you need to focus in on the deer. Talk about the deer and also, you know, really go into the motion. And so as you can see here, okay, it looks like what letter in the alphabet? E. Okay, but you see 3 arrows pointing in one direction. So we as a human collective need to focus on the energy of our emotions. We need to focus on really just taking a step back and focusing and rearing in on our emotional state, clearing our psychic emotional state, connecting to our intuition, connecting to that deer medicine. Okay? The deer is a sensitive being, it's a sentient being, it's super fragile. If you look at the physical anatomy of the animal, the legs are very thin but very fast. The ears point up, right? They're very exterior. They go, you know, they point, they're outside of the body, and they're like antennas, right? They pick up, deers internalize so much because that's how they survive by their intuition. And so one thing or something that's coming through right now is the difference between surviving and thriving. Now, with the human collective, we have always choices to make, okay? As you can see, it's still that duality, that dualistic energy is here. It's showing up right here in the symbol. And, you know, many of us have grown up in some form of survival, okay? You can come from an affluent family, but maybe you had to really learn how to emotionally survive in the family unit. Or you come from an impoverished family or a poverty mindset type of background where you had to literally fight for your survival, hustle, right? Like that movie Hustle and Flow. They had to be in flow, and they had to know, they had to, you know, really manipulate and make things work for them because they were at the bottom, right? Even that we had that rap song called started at the bottom, now we're here, right? Started at the bottom, now we're here. It's almost like this programming of, you know, it's very virtue. There's virtue and validation in starting from the bottom and then like working your way up, like having to strive and having to work so hard and having to sacrifice everything and putting a lot of energy towards just surviving. That's how we're trained as a human collective, is to just survive, to not thrive, right? Get the bare minimum, get that minimum wage, right? Get that mediocre relationship, because you're in a committed relationship. You know, why change things up? He's okay or she's all right. I can settle for this, you know? And we put all of our energy into this mediocre way of life because we're taught to, and because there's a lot of fear. As you can see, can you imagine you have all of this programming and conditioning? Oh, I'm so sorry. That's my neighbors. There's a little one next door. So my apologies if you hear background noise. But you can see, you know, we're automatically just pushed to go a certain way, right? They say the first 7 years of your life is the foundation for the rest of your life, right? Unless you choose to manipulate your energy to go the other way. Okay? So, let's talk about thriving. So we have surviving. You just, I have to survive. I have to survive. You know, getting your basic needs met, shelter, food. What else? Shelter, food. What's the third one? And security, right? Shelter, food, security, or shelter, food, water, or I can't remember what that's called. But you have the other, where there are individuals out there in the human collective, those beings that were programmed to thrive, regardless of their intellectual status, regardless of anything happening in their life, you know, how spiritual or non-spiritual, you know, or how, whoever. They were taught and conditioned to thrive, to build, to create. Okay? And most of us are trained to run away from that. That's dangerous to think outside the box. That's dangerous to question the rules that are set, the social conditioning that's set. It's dangerous to take a risk, right? And that's really, really something that I just wanted to push out there. But let's get back to the emotional state. Now, some people during Mercury retrograde, it's their time to shine. Okay, like you're wherever the placement is in one of your blueprints, meaning your energetic blueprint, meaning your astrological chart. Whether it's Eastern, Western, Vedic, it doesn't matter. Whatever blueprint you follow, you know, it sets, you know, kind of sets the pace. It sets things in motion. It helps you to understand your external and internal realities, but or to understand your emotional state a little better, because it's a complex path. But I just felt so strongly to talk about how important it is to focus on your emotional health, you know, because we are being manipulated to become numb to what is being normalized now. Don't question, be numb. Be numb to your feelings. Be numb to your reality. Be numb to the changing shifts that's happening in your personal, professional life, spiritual life, even financial life. Just be numb to it. Numb yourself with social media. Numb yourself with the screen. Numb yourself with Netflix. Numb yourself with some little drink, a little alcohol. Numb yourself with drugs. Numb yourself with good sex. Numb yourself with good pleasure. But whatever you do, don't tune in to how you feel. Don't look into the water in you. We are water beings, earth beings, wind, fire beings. We're alchemists. We are of the ether. We are all elements. And here's another thing that I want to point out about astrology, because at times, and it's a topic that interests me, but I also find it's heavily complex, to the point where the average man or woman will probably either glaze over, they get that glazed donut look. I'll tell my students that, when something, either the concept was just so beyond them that they couldn't comprehend it on an intellectual level. And so they just kind of tune out. But I find that it's so multi-layered, so complex, and beyond, the inner, the ability to just easily comprehend it and grasp it and feel it and digest it, that we kind of can lose the real, that connection, that knowing that we are all of the elements and we are all of the signs, right? I think it's incredibly important to study your energy blueprint, but don't get so caught up in the labels, right? Because it's almost like when you have religious people leave the church and they take the quote unquote left path. They study occultism, they study Kabbalah, they study the Golden Dawn, they study pagan religions, they study the old voodoo, Norse religions. Like, they leave one doctrine to pick up another one. And I'm not saying that the ancient teachings don't give clarity to us as light workers, or whatever you choose to call yourself, or whatever resonates, conduits. It does give us a certain amount of clarity, but it should be used as a map. That's it. Because if you label yourself energetically as, I am, this is my sign, so I must be this way. No. That's pointing you in the right direction so that you can go deeper into your understanding of who you are. Even with these runes, I should be able to cast them aside and still do exactly what I'm doing, right? Without becoming so glued to an energy blueprint or tarot or any kind of spiritual tool that I use, that all my energy goes towards that one thing and I miss the bigger picture. And I find that, the phrase comes up, energy detox. You have to do an energy detox at this time. This is a perfect time for it. Working with wind energy is a perfect time to do a lot of deep spiritual work. Wind is a very light energy. Okay? What makes it heavy is you. There are seasons where we need to be anchored in our earth energy. There are seasons where we need to be tied into our creative fire. There are seasons where we need to, really be in flow with our water energy. And there are seasons where we need to be light, like the wind, like a feather in the wind. Let go of the baggage, of the weight. Don't carry it into 2021. Don't do it. This is a 5-year. Nothing to play around with. I don't mean to be so heavy with these words, but I'm getting energy detox. Whatever sage, meditation, letter writing, letter burning, where you do a letter ritual where you write out your fears or you write out your hopes, your dreams, things you want to desire to manifest. You want to, wow, this came through. Okay. Relationships, emotional baggage in relationships. Now's the time to let that go, because human beings, we are going to need each other more than ever before. Now, everyone, I understand or understand. Oh, well, Naja, we're in the middle of a quote unquote, pandemic. We're in the middle of a social reset. We're in the middle of lockdown. Everyone's kept apart. Believe me, time goes on. Energy moves. Even if you think you're stagnant, energy's still moving. So, activate that wind energy by tapping into your water energy and looking into that mirror and getting that energy moving. I practice Ashtanga yoga. I practiced Ashtanga yoga from the fall of 2016 to I believe it was January of 2018 is when I stopped. But let me tell you something. Physical. I'm just getting pure energy. Just talk about moving energy, moving energy. So becoming physical with the body, right? Moving the body, move that chi energy, move that those stagnant spots within your body. Okay, yes, of course there's always a level of discomfort when we're moving and shifting energy in the body. Think of athletes who, you know, they take a summer break and then they return to school or whatever, and they have to jump right back into conditioning. And so conditioning the body for the first two weeks to 2 months, it can be very uncomfortable, very painful. But we have to take initiative individually and independently. So my practice with Ashtanga yoga, I had the opportunity to actually live with an Ashtangi teacher. He's on his way to become a master at this point. I think he's been doing it almost 10 years maybe. And anywho, so I studied with him, and I have to say a little over a year of studying Ashtanga yoga with him really grounded my energy. I think I was probably the most spiritually active during that time, committing to that practice. And when I say commitment, I did it 6 times a week. Okay. And then due to circumstances and energy shifts, I stopped. Save that for another video. But I'm getting back into it again because it is incredibly important to be physically active, to actually physically move your energy. Spiritual energy and physical energy. Okay? So the part of the emotional stability, we're all being kind of tested and shook right now. You know what I'm saying? We are. But we are more powerful than we can even comprehend. And it takes courage to look into this and to reclaim your throne. I remember I did a rune reading in November or December during my the energy of the red serpent, which is a medicine I work with. And I believe this came up in one of the readings, but this rune, sorry, ooh, see, this thing just has a lot of energy in there, and this is a throne, right? A throne. Okay, now this also came up as I was drawing this out. Be very careful on the steps that you take. Now this is a throne, but this is also a fork. I see spikes here. So with your emotions that you're dealing with right now, be very careful. If, you know, our emotions, maybe, you know, take the time to articulate your emotions through creativity. So do artwork, okay? Artwork that can demonstrate the spiky, thorny, sharp, emotional, you know, feelings that you're experiencing right now. Because this type of energy that I'm seeing right now, the thorns, it's like you're like either you're being very, 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 very careful of not piercing your feet. You know, you want to be very delicate with yourself. Be delicate with yourself. And also here, you must be very careful with your emotions to not trap yourself. Now this looks like it's separating energy and it's grounding you in a not a good way. So be mindful with your words. Be mindful of how you're expressing yourself at this time, because it's going to come back. It always comes back. Okay? So that's what I'm getting. Now, I hope I am making sense to you all that come across this video tonight and tomorrow, whenever. Another comment I want to make is that, you know, these videos are, yes, you know, I can make it specifically for new moon, full moon, but these videos are not for numbers, and these videos are not for views. You know, like I believe there will be a time and place, definitely a time and place for this, you know, for what I'm doing. But I really find that now is the moment to just be aware. And I remember in the last reading I did, or for the new moon this week, I mentioned be careful to not force, don't be forceful with your energy manipulation at this time. You never want to try to force it during Mercury retrograde, with the dealing with Mercury energy. You want to just be aware, and you want to just move it and get it off of you. You know, get that stagnant energy off of you. That is what I feel called to do. I will also put down below in the link of an energy practice that was given to me by a priestess sorceress. And this was, I think, back in 2016. And she, you know, it's a beautiful, and I think she's ordained. I can't remember what sect that she's from, but it's some kind of Eastern tradition. She spent time in India. But she suggested that I practice this chakra meditation, where you literally are moving energies, your own energies, through and out of your body. And it's very, very potent. And the more you do this practice, is called Ananda Mandala. I'll put the link below. And it literally pushes out your energies through each energy center. Believe me when I say, you know, when you do it by yourself, it's a very intense practice. When you do it with another person, they recommend that you do it with a group of people. I wouldn't. I would do it by yourself for about a month or two, consecutively, and then introduce with other people. Because let me tell you, this form of energy manipulation will move you. Okay. It will move energies out of you and activate certain things. You're like, oh my God, I didn't know that was there. Yeah, it's definitely very powerful. So this reading is just primarily focused on energy detox. Okay, you have old you know, pictures or contact information of exes. I don't know why that came through. But, you know, anything dealing with old connections you have, let it go. And if you can't let it go, or you still see or feel a connection with someone, then you need to either, you don't want to obliterate that relationship, then you need to write a letter and just rewrite the story of that relationship, so that you can transmutate that energy to a space of neutrality and balance and love and acceptance. Okay, so I'm being guided to pull 3. And just so you know, this is the original rune here. Okay, oh wow. Again, confirmation. So this is a droplet of water. There's 2 droplets of water. There's a small one, and then there's an outer one. So this, so also the the droplet of water or fire, but the droplet of water, because we're dealing with the energy of the deer, it deals with the inner child. The inner child resides within the heart. And just like the deer, it is very innocent, very soft, and highly intuitive, and, you know, very sensitive, you know. And then we have, again, the broken cycle. This has come up, I think, the 3rd time so far in a rune reading in a row. Please forgive me, but the lamp above me isn't working right now, so it's a bit dark. In time, I will work on that. I'm working on getting a new camera, so please be patient with that. But it's just imagine a circle, but then there's the circle breaks, and there's 2 lines that go through, and that's symbolic of building a new path, and leaving behind an old either timeline, because I look at time in a circular fashion. I don't look at it in a linear way. So we're leaving one timeline for another, and then magnetic power. Okay, so again, your emotions are powerful. Whatever you are feeling, you are investing in your new path that you're creating, okay? And you must also involve the inner child in some way. And I think I'm telling myself this, you know, it's incredibly important to follow your joy, to connect with that innocent part of yourself. Because let me tell you, it's almost like when you are choosing a mate has chosen you as their life partner, but inside your heart, that little girl, that little boy is screaming, no, 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 don't do it, don't do it. But your other thrones, your other energy centers, everything else is telling you to go, but you ignore that one aspect of yourself, and that could be very detrimental to your path that you take. So really make sure that all of you is engaged in the energies that you're putting into whatever direction you're going. Because hey, look at this, as a collective, we're going somewhere. We are definitely have chosen. We're in the act of choosing, and we have chosen. It's a weird, again, don't approach it as in a linear way, right? With the past, present, future. No, you have to look at it in a very cyclical, circular, feminine way, okay? We're simultaneously have already done it, we're doing it, and will do it. We've done it, we're doing it, we will do it, all at the same time, okay? Please don't ask me how does that make sense? Just follow what I'm saying. We're just moving in one direction as a human collective, and we're choosing independently as well. So all of our individual choices is affecting the whole, whether it's you want to live off grid and build a community and live organically and closer to nature. Okay, you want to live in a synthetic society where everything's provided for you, where you know they send you that $3,000 check. You don't have to work anymore. You know, okay. All of that's happening, and we're moving in a direction, whether we fight against it or whether we're working with it, or whether we are blind to it. It doesn't matter. Okay, at this point, it doesn't matter. We are moving forward, and things are going to pick up speed. This is also letting me know that, because here's the thing, when you have 1, 2, 3 energies moving this way like that, and given that this is also symbolic for the deer energy, because you don't usually see a deer going back and forth like, oh, should I go right? Should I go left? Because there's a hungry wolf in front of me. Should I go back? He looks really hungry, and he's approaching me a little bit closer than he did like a minute ago. No. The deer is like, okay, I see that. I see my predator. He's hungry. He's looking for me. Or I see a whole pack of wolves over there. I sense them. I need to make a decision now, and I need to stick to it regardless. So this is not the time for doubt in the movements that you make energetically. This is the time to be in tune and to clear out the debris of yesteryear. Don't think you can move forward and carry all the baggage from the previous year moving forward. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Again, I look at it this way. Mother Nature is a force, okay? She is a force to be reckoned with. And I will say this, the magnetic power right here. So it's a very feminine energy. Okay, also water here, very feminine energy. I can't quite remember what the broken cycle or in the new path, broken cycle, new path, what that energy is specifically. I'm going to have to look in my notes. But I will say this, all Mother Gaia has to do is just sneeze us off her back. Okay? Like, we really it's like she's like, okay, you get like, because she's shifting, she's changing, like always. She's an entity, she's very much alive, And those who can ride, her ride or dies, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're with her and they can stick with her and be in flow and be in the know to grow. Or they're going to try to go against her, and it's just not going to be a very fun ride. But believe me, we're on a ride. This is just very confirming. But you have to be in touch with your intuition. This is what the water droplet is. You have to be in tune with your intuition. Intuition. You have to hear in tune, because a tune is a frequency. It's a musical, right? You have to listen to the intuition. Okay? Follow your heart, your intuition. That song from Jewel, I think. Like that, I'm not gonna say I'm shocked they let that air, but it's a very powerful song. I can tell you that right now. You have to follow, because Mother Gaia speaks to us all, always, constantly. Spirit speaking to us, our ancestors are speaking to us, our subconscious is speaking to us. Everything is always speaking to us sentient human beings, but we are, again, what did I say at the very beginning? Numb. We become numb to our emotions, the energy in motion, and it becomes stagnant. And then we're just like, oh, what the fuck? Like, why am I going through this? Or why am I sick? Why am I injured? Or why did I lose this? Or why did I get this? Frequency, right? Okay, so, it's very powerful. Look, even look at the candle here. Look at this. Look, the candle, the fire, the flame right here. This is very, very, very confirming. We're in the new moon, so that it's that slow, burning, subtle energy that we can work with. We have that. It's a very soft energy. I love new moon energy. It's so soft. It's calming. I don't feel pressure. I feel like relaxed, And it's almost like when I'm forced to externalize myself, that's when I'm like, no. I want to just go inside and like stay by myself and huddle under the covers and just watch a good movie, or just make a nice homey meal, or just work on my music, But then in full moon, I know it's like burning. It's burning. It's like the flame is high. It's like, hello, I'm light, I'm fire, here we go. So even with this, the energy that's sitting on my table, on this table right now. So again, I'll just touch on a few things. It's going on 40 minutes now. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening and sharing this message. That's all I really care about. You listening and you sharing it with other people. I'm not crazy about the adding, because that's also, let me bring that up. Okay, so the energy when it comes to social media. Oh, okay. I'm being asked to pull one. Okay. This is one of, this is a very important rune. Let me see if I can get it in there. Aha. You see that right there? You see that? I call this energy manipulation chaotic rune. The rune of chaos. Okay? Chaos isn't always bad. Chaos is how things are created. However, you can use chaos to destroy. When it comes to social media and your energy, your emotional state, ooh, buddy. And look, and I'll say this, I'm, bring my personal experience with it. I stayed off of social media for years. It was shortly after my time in undergrad. I deleted Facebook. I deleted Instagram. I never used Instagram, to be quite honest. I never used Twitter. I was never into the whole social media thing. When traveling, Facebook and Skype were easy. They made sense to use it. It was all very practical. At the foundation of this as a society, we're taught, oh yeah, this is so practical and so convenient to stay connected with people 24/7. But the emotional consequence of that as a human collective is causing chaos. within our psyches. Chaos. And that's something I don't personally feel good about. I'm grateful to have the platforms. I'm grateful because I'm learning so much about myself and about, how to clarify my vision so that other people can really vibe with where I'm going. But my goodness, the chaos. Oh, okay, one more. All right. Whew. Okay, so again, this is the new moon rune, right? What's hidden is manipulating you emotionally. What is hidden is manipulating you emotionally. But if you choose to go within, tap in to your intuition, look at that water droplet. Purify yourself by doing an energy detox. Believe me, nothing will be able to hypnotize you. If you look real closely to this rune, you'll see a dark dot. That's you. Everything else around it is your external reality having some kind of influence, right? Influencers influencing you in some way, shape, or form. Now, there's positive and negative always. We live in a very dualistic reality, right? There's things that are split. There's things that are gray, black, white, it's all over the place. However, you can be within. You see the elements there? Fire, water, earth, wind, ether, and the hands on the side. You can be on the outside manipulating your own energy, your own reality. You can self-hypnotize yourself, self-hypnosis. Don't allow what is hidden within you to control you. Don't allow what is hidden in the outside world to control you. Be the master of your emotions, and that takes a whole lifetime. Like people like Sadhguru, Mujiji, I can't really think of any other like big time spiritual leader. I mean, there's hundreds of them. They all go through emotional, egoic stuff, especially if you're on the high caliber of that stature. You're definitely being tested all the time, So, okay, I don't want to make this too long, but this is the reading. So again, energy detox. Okay, as a human collective, we've made a choice. We are making a choice, and we will make more choices. But we have we're being pushed in a direction. So again, I'm going to backtrack a little bit here. Tune into that magnetic power. Emotions, energy, emotion. We're magnetic. You can pull that in. Okay? Purify. Purify yourself. Tune into that inner child. Tune into how she or he is feeling. Don't leave her or him behind. Breaking of the cycle. Going your own path. Right? We've chosen. We will choose. And we are choosing now. Who's manipulating you? Who's hypnotizing you? Are you manipulating your own energy? Can you self-hypnotize? Or do you allow the algorithms to? And again, what is hidden? Don't let what is hidden scare you. Don't let what is hidden control and manipulate. Tune into the hidden, unseen parts of yourself. Okay? This is new moon energy. It's very gentle, this one. It's wind. The wind can get things moving, I can tell you that right now. Don't let a gentle breeze turn into a tornado down the line. Okay? This is all that I have. Oh, is it time to wrap it up? Okay, it is time to wrap it up. Thank you so much. My name is N.R. Silvertree. If you would like to book a reading, a rune reading, Silvertree rune reading with me, please email me at silvertree@silvertreesounds.com. Also, check out my second channel. It is called Silvertree Sounds. It has meditation, experimental music, meditation music on there to help you during your energy work or energy ritual practices. Also, I'll post a link of Ananda Mandala down below. I'm going to practice it tonight. I hope you tune into that or find whatever, create your own, energy practice for purging. Now is the time to purge. I know people push that off until full moon, but Mercury retrograde is a special season. Take charge of it. Use this Aquarian energy to get things moving in a very gentle but consistent way. Thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you. Oh, and remember, embrace supreme loving guidance, expand your consciousness, and evolve your human being. Thank you.